Hi all. In today's video, we will be discussing on what is backup, what is the purpose of having a backup, what are the various type of backup schemes we have. So what is backup? Backup is a result of copying or archiving the data or folder so that it can be used in future in case of any disruption or data loss or any kind of disturbance to the business. So that is what is backup. So backup. Why do you take a backup? At a later stage, you can use this data backup, can restore the data if in case the original data you have lost it due to any disruption or any adverse event. Yeah. So under backup, you have three schemes, backup schemes. What are those three backup schemes? So there is three types of backup schemes. One is called full backup. The second one is called incremental backup. The third one is called differential backup. So what does full backup mean? Full backup meaning the full backup, as the name suggests, it is all the files and folders and data are backed up. That is what is called full backup. So why is that, or what is the functioning of full backup? How is that you can use a full backup? Is that restoration is faster. So since by just one click of a button, you will get the entire backup of the data. So restoration is pretty faster. Cost of maintenance is high. Since every time you take the full backup, you have to utilize the full resources out of it, hardware, software, other people resources. So high cost of maintenance. Data redundancy. What does redundancy mean? Redundancy meaning duplication of data. That is what is called data redundancy. So redundancy of data is comparatively high. So since you keep on taking the full backup, there is repetition of data. You take full backup today, take full backup tomorrow. So the data is getting repeated. But when you take today, it is only today's data. When you take a full backup again tomorrow, it will be today's data plus the next day's data as well. So there is high data redundancy in full backup. So this is on the functioning of full backup. On the incremental backup, as the name suggests, backup is taken only for the incremental portions. Backup only for incremental portions, meaning what is the increase since the last backup. So always note backup after the last backup has happened. Let me tell you why this last is important. As I mentioned, it is backup only for incremental portion. So that is last backup. I'll give you an example for it. What is the functioning of incremental backup? Restoration is comparatively slower. since you have to refer to multiple files for taking the full backup. It is not one single file. So you have to refer to multiple backup, incremental backup to come consider the or to take out the full backup of the data. So data redundancy as such is low. Since you don't take the entire backup again and again, you just consider only the incremental portions. The data repetition or data duplication is comparatively lower in incremental backup. So that is on the incremental backup. On the differential backup, what is differential backup? This is similar to incremental backup. But however, it considers the backup after the last full backup. That is the importance of differential backup. Functionality as such, it requires more capacity than the incremental backup. Since it considers there is a little bit of a increased data redundancy here because it considers backup since the last full backup, more capacity for incremental backup. Let me give you an example as to how it looks like, how we have to differentiate between full differential and incremental backup. So take an example. So this is how it looks like. So you are taking backup day 1, day 2, day 3. Okay. We'll take an example of BU. Backup 1, you take first backup, then you take backup 2, then you take backup 3. So here it is on full backup. Then on incremental backup, then on differential backup. So imagine you are taking on day 1 full backup you are considering. So here you consider all data for the backup. Here there is no incremental backup to take. You don't take any differential backup. On day 2, you take backup 2. So here we are not taking or any a backup on full data. You're taking incremental backup for changes since backup 1. So any change that has happened from 1 to 2 that you consider as part of incremental backup. Same here as well. Changes since backup 1. So full backup you have, then you have considering backup 1 to 2, what is the changes that has happened. So that is what is the differential and incremental backup here. Then on day 3, you take another backup, you don't take full backup. Here the incremental backup will be changes since backup 2. What is the change that has happened? Because last backup you have taken is backup 2. So from there on backup 2, what is the change from backup T? Only for the incremental portion. So this considers 1 to 2, what is the change? This considers what is the change between 2 to 3. So only for the incremental portion. Here on differential backup, in differential backup, we consider backup since the last full backup. So here we consider changes since backup 1. So this is the differentiation between differential backup and incremental backup. So suppose you are taking full backup on day 4. How is that you can take it up? So full backup, if you want a full backup to be retrieved on day 4, so you can have two options. You are considering backup 1, which is a full backup. Then you can consider incremental backup BU2 plus incremental backup BU3. So we'll consider BU1, you have all the data, 1 to 2 you will capture here, 2 to 3 you will capture here. So you are considering any change That has happened from backup 1 to 2, here considering here, 2 to 3 you are considering here. So ultimately you are getting the full data. Or you can have backup 1 plus the last differential backup. So this will give you the entire data. So you can follow either of this approach to consider the full backup of the data. So organizations predominantly they will follow method of rotation of backup. What is method of rotation of backup? You cannot take full backup always or full incremental backup always or differential backup always. You have to follow method of rotation. So what, for example, they can follow? They can follow full backup once in a month, incremental backup once in a week, differential backup fortnightly, so that they can have a method of rotation of taking backup. So ultimately the intention is to retrieve the backup as early as possible in the case of any disruption or a disaster. So that's all about backup. Thank you.